Welcome to Canadian Justice. I'm Christine Van Gyn. Today we're talking about the Trudeau government's plans to regulate online streaming. Bill C-11 has taken the government more than 2 years to get through Parliament, and it looks like it's about to receive royal assent. Under the new rules, streaming platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and Netflix will need to participate in the Canadian content regulation system. And some critics have raised the alarm that this will impact user-generated content uploaded by digital content creators. As a host of my own YouTube channel, which you can find by searching for the Canadian Constitution Foundation on YouTube, I share some of these concerns about how government regulation may end up picking and choosing between content, including user-generated content. Is the government putting its thumb on the scale, and is this a violation of the right to freedom of expression? Here today to discuss this are three experts. Scott Benzie is the Executive Director of Digital First Canada and the CEO of Bufferfest, the world's largest creator-focused film festival. And Jay Goldberg is the Ontario Director of the Canadian Taxpayers Federation. Rosa Addario is with Open Media. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Rosa, let me start with you. How does this bill work? It regulates large streaming platforms like Netflix, but how might it impact user-generated content as well, like a video I upload to YouTube or TikTok?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Christine. So what's important to understand about Bill C-11 is that it treats the internet like cable TV. But as we know, the internet is not broadcasting. So C-11 gives the CRTC the power to regulate video and audio content on the internet and on platforms in the same way that they regulate radio and TV content. The problem is that it does not distinguish between professional and amateur content. So we may see people like yourself having those YouTube videos be regulated in addition to the larger platforms.
Scott, you are a content creator. You also work directly with content creators, digital content creators. Do we have a sense yet of what this bill is going to mean and what it will look like for, individual users like me who upload things to YouTube? And I'm not just asking for myself. I think this impacts a lot of people, obviously.
Yeah, and I think one of the issues is the ambiguity surrounding exactly what the bill does and what it doesn't do, and what the government says the bill does and what the government says the bill doesn't do. It's clear now that user-generated content is in fact scoped into the bill. Section 4.22, the exclusion that brings it all back in, provides that clarity. And then the issue is what happens next. The government has stated that their intent is not to regulate user-generated content and creators, but we have heard from lobby groups that are lobbying for this legislation that they are saying, oh yeah, we absolutely want algorithmic preference. And algorithms are binary. One goes up, one goes down. It's not, we can't all rise together. So that's the real issue, is how is this going to be implemented now that the government has the power to do so?
So Scott, who is lobbying for this, and why would they want the regulation of videos produced by teenagers on TikTok?
Yeah, so the traditional lobby and media groups that have seen the rise of social networks and the ability to, content being democratized online and the removal of gatekeepers and anybody able to upload whatever they want. They think that that if they get an algorithmic advantage, then their content will be pushed up and enjoyed and loved, and that will cause them to go up in the rankings and their content to be enjoyed where the eyeballs are. The truth is, and one of the flaws in this legislation, which we won't know until implementation, but that doesn't work. The plan that they have, even in the best case scenario, isn't going to help them because they really lack understanding in how it works. They're traditional groups that some of them aren't even on social platforms. And they said this to us, oh, we're not on it yet, but we will. Whereas these creators, without government intervention, have had success, which is now in jeopardy.
Yeah, one of the things is, if my content were to be boosted to the wrong audience, it could have really dire consequences. I produce very particular content. It's about constitutional law in Canada. If you give that content to someone who's on YouTube looking for cat videos, they will be sorely disappointed, and that actually may end up hurting me. Now, Jay, there was a Senate amendment that had been proposed. The Senate had said they wanted to rein in how this impacted user generated content. When we come back from this break, I want to talk about what happened to that amendment because it's gone now. We will be right back.